Hey everybody, during one of my recent Saturday guitar Q&A live streams right here on my YouTube channel, a viewer texted in a question about double stops. So here's that clip from the live stream. We get into a Chuck Berry riff because Chuck Berry undoubtedly was the king of double stops. Here it comes. Many Vibes has a question. Many Vibes says, double stops always confuse me. Yeah. So let's talk about good old Chuck Berry. The father of the double stop. Nobody owns that. Chuck Berry owns that. Nobody else owns it, is what I'm trying to say. I just did 6 and 6 on the 2 treble strings. There's a double stop. Chuck Berry slides into it from a few frets away. Why am I doing 6 and 6? Because that's from Johnny B. Goode. Chuck Berry, for whatever reason, probably because it suited his voice, he chose to record his song Johnny B. Goode in the key of B flat. And the double stop that he relies on for that great intro is the note B flat, 6 on the skinny first string, and the harmonizing note next to it, the note F, which is 6 on the second string. Okay, so in the simplest version, that's a double stop. And people, you can take your one, and by the way, don't use 2 separate fingers. It's not worth it. You can do it. If any of you have any problems doing it with one finger, hang in there. You're going to use the squishy part, the center of your finger, not the tip. Okay. If anytime you're playing more than one string at a time, fretting more than one string at a time, you no longer rely on the tip. Does that make sense? You got to use the pad of your finger, so to speak. Or roll it over on the edge, potentially, if you're doing other stuff with other fingers. But remember that discussion of the bar chords. For our purposes, though, don't roll it anywhere. Just lay it flat and grab it. Okay, so there's the classic double stop sound. Can you do double stops on other strings, like other combinations of strings? Sure. With my ring finger, in this relates back to that 6-6. Okay, my ring finger, I'm focusing on the 2nd and 3rd strings at the 8th fret. 2nd string 8, 3rd string 8. My finger can't help but to touch the 1st string at 8 because I'm making this little partial bar, we're going to call that partial bar, with my ring finger. But despite the fact that my ring finger is touching the skinny string, because I can't not touch it, my pick is only strumming the 3rd and 2nd strings. And then just to finish off this phrase, okay, 6 and 6 on the 2 treble strings, my index finger. 8 and 8 on the 2nd and 3rd strings, with my ring finger flattening out. By the way, my ring finger, you got to have that knuckle bending in a curvy way like a ski jump. I'm going to do it wrong for a second. Watch my left hand ring finger knuckle. It's bending the way a knuckle is supposed to bend. You won't effectively, consistently get a good grip on those strings if the knuckle is bending the right way, so to speak. Okay? You really want to, if you're going for consistency, you want to have that finger essentially straight. I'm talking about the first knuckle, the knuckle closest to your fingernail. That knuckle should not bend. I don't recommend it, put that way. Okay. Oh, what a juicy sound. That thing right there. Oh. Okay, what's that? Back to my index finger. Focusing on the 2nd and 3rd strings, 6th fret. I'm touching the 1st skinny string with my index finger, but I'm not going to pick it. I just can't not touch it. That's fine. So I'm strumming the 3rd and 2nd strings with it. By the way, this is all downstrokes with my pick. Now this is tricky, but hang in there. I strummed the 2nd and 3rd strings with my bar at the 6th fret, and then very carefully, with precision, my middle finger did a hammer-on 3rd string 7th fret. I only plucked this once with my pick. That second sound is coming from my middle finger hammering down. And now in a perfect world, when you hammer down with that middle finger on the third skinny string, 7th fret, you do not mute out the second string. The second string is still ringing. That's not easy, that's a pain. But it sounds so cool when both of those strings are still ringing. And then to finish the melodic phrase here from Chuck Berry, ring finger, 4th string, D string, 8th fret. Slow motion. Oh, you know, it's right out of the Chuck Berry playbook. It's definitely easier on electric guitar, for sure. In fact, that's a whole nother topic for another live stream. Is electric guitar easier than acoustic? And if so, why don't we all just start electric guitars, even temporarily, you know? Something to think about, you know? Okay, so many vibes. Hopefully that helped you a little bit. I do have, now that I think about it, in the book called Easy Guitar Chord and Lead Tricks, the Hal Leonard physical book, I do have a double stop section, now that I think about it. So head over to song-bike.com. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, everybody. By the way, in the description of this video, I'll put a link to my video teaching that classic introduction to Johnny B. Goode. And hey, don't forget to check out these guitar Q&A live streams I do Saturdays, 5 p.m. You can text in your questions and I answer as many as I can over the course of a couple of hours. If you can't watch it live, don't worry. They're all recorded. In fact, I have a big, long playlist of all the live streams I've done. Okay, so check it out. And again, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.